Please don't blink. I will spend 2 hours and 59 minutes. It takes 4.5 years to show you quick real-time recorded the complete construction cycle of a high-rise residential building and all the construction processes of interior finishing. They build them. And 895 construction processes in the decoration site. The first construction process, foundation treatment. The foundation treatment of this, it's a jade tube. Within 500 square meters of the base of the build, no 355 pieces with a diameter of jade tubular 12 meters in length. Fully reinforce the bearing capacity, therefore, it meets the design. The second construction process, foundation pit excavation. Earth excavation is crawler type. Backhoe excavator. According to the exclusive construction plan of earthworks, excavation operations should begin at a certain corner of the general excavation principle is a bit finite and extinct. What I see now is to dig out a point first. So, how is the excavated earth handled? And what you're seeing here is a little hook machine digging up dirt. The big hook machine hooks the fish and soil up right for excavate. Then the forklift transports the fish and soil. The excavation has now been completed, which is a bit. Then in the process of excavation, what are we going to do? What about controlling the bottom elevation of the... As you can see, we have to follow the drawing. Use a level to control the bottom elevation of the foundation. So here's the problem. Can it be excavated to the design elevation at one time? Or should a certain thickness of soil be reserved? What about artificial grass? You can get it by line now. Several sides have been excavated. At this time, some fans raised questions. How did you dig up the soil and dig out the pillars one by one? Let's scare the chicken pit and find out. These columns are the previous process, constructed jade pipe pile. After hitting the pressure during static press, about to stop pressing the piles, so there will be piles of different lengths, head exposed base. Now let's solve another problem. It is whether the foundation pit can be excavated to design elevation. As you can see, a certain thickness of soil should be reserved for earthwork, manual clearance to design elevation, to prevent extra external disturbances during mechanical. Original diagram. The thickness reserved for mechanical excavation is generally 200 to 300. Then the bursting coefficient of the chicken, and what is the value of the working surface width? You can discuss it first. I will do a detailed analysis later. The third construction process, cutting head. After the excavation of the foundation, you can cut off the extra bricks. Top elevation of the finished surface, 50 m higher than the bottom of the foundation pit. The higher 50 mm should go deep into the subsequent construction. The fourth construction process, earthwork excavation of water pit in elevator shaft. And you see those white lines. It's the upper line of the elevator emergency puddle, lower line. So, why did the elevator emergency puddle the earth? Don't you dig it in place with the machine pit at one time? This is because they belong to the machine pit of the machine. The bottom elevation should be much lower than the bottom. There are great difficulties in an excavation. And on the elevator emergency puddle, the location requirements of the lower port line are, during the excavation process, it is necessary to constantly give artificial to ensure that the upper and lower port lines meet the design. Then the upper and lower entrance lines of the elevator. How is it determined? There are many intellectual points involved. Fans who are interested in learning can go to my homepage. There are relevant details. Elevator emergency puddle opening completed. So there's also the cutting. I won't show them to you one by one here. This pit is the foundation of the future of indoor elevators. The fifth construction process, installation inspection. After the earth excavation and cutting work are completed, you can install it. Machine detected. The installed inspection of pipe assembly is divided: installation sound integrity testing and single loading capacity test. Number of sound integrity tests, not less than 20% of the total assembly. Single load. The number of load tests is 1% of the total assembly, and not less than 3. Sixth construction process, elevator emergency puddle or column. Brick membrane is too large due to pit depth and slope. Therefore, the brick membrane is used to characterize the found. In addition to the function of protecting the slope, the brick tire it also has a follow-up process. The advantages of creating a working. So, let's have a quick look. The air column process of brick fetal membrane. Since the temperature was already nearly 39 degrees, they work in the open air. So, workers don't have the whole picture. I hope you can understand. If you don't like it, don't. This video, about 4 years, the whole process video of the creation, a tremendous effort over the entire 4 years. You can also, I have dedicated half of my youth to this video. I hope you can understand and support. Focus on the construction process. The seventh construction process, brick time plastering. So, you know why you plaster the bricks. Oh, is it why the construction process creates the working surface? You can discuss it first. I will do a detailed analysis later. The eighth construction process, foundation pit acceptance. Participants in the inspection tank have supervision and construction. Design survey. The Quality Supervision Department acts as a supervisor. In fact, it has become the leading party. The main content of acceptance is determined, the quantity of the size package, and the test report of the package, and whether there is weakness. The lower 5 floors have layers of sand. Is there an ancient tomb? Tanaka Gyujing, etc., etc. After passing the acceptance, the next construction process can be carried out. The 9th construction process, pile head treatment of pipe piles. The pile head of the pipe pile should be 1.2 meter tall steel dragon. Then the concrete is poured within the confines of the steel dragon. Now you can put the rebar dragon placed in the pipe pile. Next, let's take a look at the pouring of Juangshin. The core rubber column is made of micro-expanded concrete, so that you can fill the filling hard. Finally meets the design requirements. The 10th construction process, laying sand and gravel road cushion. Then there is already a foundation installed. Why lay gravel road cushions? Next, please ask the blogger to do a detailed analysis. So many fans ask me, what is the function of the sand and gravel cushion? Here it is, we're going to say it again. Our conforming foundation. Meet the 3 components of the foundation. The first one is the pipe pile that we see here. The second is the village between our villages. They have a force on each other, right? So, what's its final component? It's our sand and gravel cushion. That is the foundation used for this project. The form is full of makeup, so there is no need to reserve steel bar. Go deep into the basics. If it is not installed under the wall, reinforcement needs to be effective connection to the valve plate. The 11th construction step. After the construction of sand and gravel into the concrete cushion can be poured. Before pouring, the base layer should be watered and wetted. Concrete cushion. How many functions does it have? It does 2 things. A roll. It creates a working surface for our waterproofing. Everyone must remember, waterproof laying creates working surface. The second function. It acts as a transmission. It plays a role in accepting distribution and loading. Cushion during pouring, to be flattened to the design elevation in time and cover the plastic film in time to retain water and moisturize. Then the concrete strength grade of the cushion. What's the lowest? Go to the 12th construction process. Valve removing foundation brick membrane. There are 2 functions of brick membrane. One is for the next waterproofing process, create working surface. One is used as a template for valve foundation, due to the large volume of the valve foundation. Concrete pouring. Therefore, the brick fetal membrane should use to ensure that its stiffness can withstand large pressure measurement of concrete. The height of the brick membrane is the thickness of plus waterproof and its protective layer thickness. Remember that the brick tire membrane can be plastered after. Then everyone knows why it is smeared on the brick platform. Gray. Why is it in the inner corner of the brick platform? What about the technical measures for circular arc treatment? The 13th construction step. Brick tire grinder, and after plastering is completed, you can do base plate SYBS, the construction of waterproof membrane. The first thing to do is to spray the base free. This is waterproof membrane, one of the basic treatment measures for construction. The next step is to make a waterproof additional layer. Waterproof additional layer, when applied to the yin and yang corners of, this is due to the yin and yang, is where the stress on the foundation is concentrated. So, use additional layers for reinforcement. The width of the sub-mezzanine is 500 mm. The lap length between the subinner layers is 100 mm. The subinner layer adopts full felt method to decrypt and fit the. I just showed you the additional layer of the inner corner. Now let's take a look at the claw add-on. After the construction of the waterproof additional layer, you can construct the base plate and waterproof it. The waterproofing of the base plate adopts the empty paving, but make sure the coil connection is sweaty and old. Then everyone knows why the base plate is waterproof. Is it empty? Use the gun holder roller after the coil is empty. Lap of 2 rolls. Manhan hot melt link. What you're seeing here is the long-sided construction. Lap width is 100 mm. This is short side street. Short side street width is 150 mm. This foundation pit uses 3+ for 2-layer SYBS waterproof membrane. After the construction of the first layer of waterproof membrane, the second floor can be constructed. The 2-layer coil should be built by seam. So now the question everyone cares about is it construction first, 3 mm or 4 mm roll? The 14th construction step pours the concrete protective layer. These are the elevation control points. Each process must be accompanied by a measurement of the to prevent errors from accumulating. The waterproof protective layer is made of fine stone concrete. Its main function is to prevent steel bar binding during irreversible damage to the coil. The 15th construction step, foundation engineering survey. Position. You start with the theodolite. Type the relevant axis point. Then you can use the ink bucket to eject the axis. The next thing to do is to pop the axis in turn. Then you can follow the tested axis. Use a large ruler. Mark the component points on the drawing on the axis. Next, you can measure the probe line at one time. What we're doing here is casting the component lines of Then you need to press the bead. The footsteps are marked with red paint. The 16th construction step. Issuance of mixed plate bottom steel bars for foundation plate bottom steel. Start with the site to be constructed is the elevator emergency puddle. So let's enjoy it together. Hairstyle base plate. The entire construction process of steel bars. If you have any questions, you can discuss and ask. I will answer every question carefully. After the steel bar at the bottom of the elevator shaft stagnant, you can lay the steel bar at the bottom of the hairstyle foundation plate. Valve-type foundation plate bottom steel bar is often wrapped. Long steel bar is short rebar on top. This issue has been controversial for a long time. There is a super detailed analysis of this problem on my homepage. Interested fans can go and have a look. Baseplate reinforcement is mechanically connected. 50% probability. Next, you can lay short like steel bars. Baseplate steel kidnapping complete. The 17th construction process does not include penalty plates. Horse stool steel, also known as steel, is support, one of the important technical measures to punish gluten. The 18th construction process does not have long-term support steel. The support bar is the support valve plate gluten, another important technical measure. The 19th construction process does not have hair board gluten. Different from the steel bar at the bottom of the board, the gluten is first laid with short steel bars. After the short-term steel bar is laid, you can lay out the steel bars. Then you can tie it up. Make sure that each intersection is securely tied. Basic grounding. The 20th construction process foundation is pressed and inserted. The first job to be done, it is to press and hold the positioning line on the side and then mark the mask. Now everyone knows why red oil is sprayed. Paint it, just to improve recognition. So every process is interlocking. After the lead is completed, it can be tied, positioned. Things that require special emphasis. Press and hold. You need to set the solid stems and the spacing between the two solid stems shall not be greater. Add a stock every 500 millimeters or more. Next, you can proceed to the gold injection operation. Press and hold to divide, construct the edge and hold down both components. Constrained edge construction is mainly through fixation, forming a strong restraint on concrete. Resume and bending moment of main resistance to earthquakes. Construct edge dark set based on construct requirements, mainly to ensure a strong resume and overall stability. Next, you can put gujin on the pillar. than the ancient and modern universe. Each intersection of the longitudinal steel bars is. This is a 39-degree operating environment. Every refusal, those who give in to life are struggling. Let's pay tribute to the workers. The 21st construction step. Issue basic resume wall component, insert gold. Resume wall component, and the gold should be carried out after the gold insertion of the column. It is necessary to insert gold into the forced gold insertion must be a certain number of horizontally distributed steel junctions. Vertically distributed rebar can now be inserted. Here we go. Let's enjoy the construction of strong gold insert Cheng bar. It is important to emphasize here that basement exterior horizontal distribution gold is inside the numeric distribution. That's why it should be set up first. The reason for a certain amount of level gold. In addition to that, all CV strong reinforcement, the level gold is on the outside of several items. The 22nd construction step. Construction basement exterior wall water stop steel plate. Due to the basement exterior, it cannot be formed with the foundation at one time. Therefore, construction joints will inevitably occur. At this time, a 300 mm high guide wall should be set. The construction joint at 300 mm on the top surface of the a continuous through stop is set at the construction joint. Water steel plate. It can effectively avoid the risk of leakage caused by point. And here's the template that you see. It's our 23rd construction step. Direct reflection of the formwork of the. That means the wall is 300 mm high. It is to be poured with the valve plate. So, it is necessary to shoot a 300 mm high guide. The guide wall formwork should be 3-stage. Water stop screw reinforcement. Completely isolate the leakage point. It should be emphasized that the opening direction of the water stop steel plate should face the water. The single welding length of 2 water stop steel plates is 20 mm. Due to the water stop steel plate and guide, the board belongs to the insertion. So, we did a cross presentation. It's easier for everyone to understand the relationship between processes. So far, mobile resume wall structure, the foundation of a high-rise building. It's done. So, what's next? The 24th construction process method slab concrete pouring. The strength grade of normal slab concrete is C30. Pouring with ground pump. French concrete pouring should start from the bottom. So first you pour the shaft ridge. Puddles due to the fluidity characteristics of concrete and elevator shaft. The puddle is too deep, so there will be more buoyancy. To avoid elevator shaft ridge, puddle mold floating. To press a heavy object on the mold to resist buoyancy. Penalty slab belongs to mass concrete pouring. Layered pouring. Shot down in time. Take timely temperature control measures. Then mass concrete. How to effectively avoid contract. What about cracks? You can talk about them. I will seriously participate in it. French concrete pouring completed. Then this time the basic project is perfectly managed. Now let's take a look at our gold insert. That is, we need to go up one floor at a time. Do our pillars need to be plugged with gold? And take a look at the walls. We need gold in our walls. Only so we can connect to the superstructure. Right, this is the purpose of our gold insertion. 25th construction step. Pressure welding of electric switch with negative layer holding long. We weld. Reinforce the columns of this layer length. Effective connection with the base column, insert gold. And extend a certain length to the upper floor. That's how the floors go through the wall is built layer by layer. After welding the longitudinal steel bars, you can bind and fix the sperm. Solidification must ensure intersection with each longitudinal steel bar. The connection of steel bars has 3 main forms: power station pressure, mechanical connection, lashing. There are many knowledge points about steel bar engineering on the street. Since the total video duration cannot exceed 1 hour, not here. Due to much detail, on my homepage, detailed explanation of all construction processes of this project, detailed explanation of each construction process, all technical parameters of. Interested fans can click on the homepage to learn. 26th construction step. Tied to the resume wall inside the wall steel. Resume wall reinforcement must be tied in the holding. Proceed after completion. Since the resume wall reinforcement is a double net away, therefore, it should be tied tightly horizontally on one side. Then tied firmly. Then you can tie the vertical distribution diameter. Different from the reinforced arrangement of the basement exterior wall, the level of the interior wall of the basement is on the outside. So the other side, the vertical distribution diameter should be preset first. then distribute tightly horizontally at the lashing. So that's, each construction process has a different construction process. Here you see the -1 panoramic picture of wall column steel binding. It's going to be fastened neck. Resume strong vertical and horizontal reinforcement at every intersection. Twenty-seventh construction step. Bind and smash resume wall exterior wall. Vertical distributing agent for exterior wall in the basic insertion stage has been completed. Therefore, just put the horizontal gold in. The reason why the word chuan is used, it's because the basement is strong. The horizontal ribs are inside the vertical, so the horizontal tendons go in. The tie bar can be placed next. Tensile bars are usually arranged in a plumb pattern. Casing of drainage system to be installed on the basement exterior wall. Twenty-eighth construction step. Construction of wall pillars on the -1st floor and up. Wall pillar formwork. It is the size of the wall pillars according to the drawing. Use template. Wall pillar formwork of corresponding size, made of wooden square. Create conditions for subsequent concrete pouring. So, let's have a quick look. Processing of wall pillar form. Make the installation process. The final processing is assembled into the size we want. Before template install, to preset the wall made of concrete, used to control the thickness of the concrete cover and build cleansing dimensions. Here we go. You can direct the template to the corresponding position. So, what is the basis for the location of the template? It is the edge line of the wall pillar that we set on the side according to the 29th construction step. Set up the inner support system of the formwork. Template support system is used to support the roof template. Let's take a look next. The driving process of the support system in the template. The 30th construction process roof formwork system. After the internal support system, you can make the top plate template. The first job to be done, that is, there is no wooden square on the support system because the template itself has no rigidity. So, use the steel of the wooden square to support the formwork. Now you can create the template. Then you can fix the template and wooden square. On the template design of quantity components, do 2 more knowledge points. So, we made a sub-meter phase. On my home, there are all the construction processes you want to see in detail. The 31st construction process -1st floor top beam lashing. The first thing to do is to put the full-length steel bars of the beam, put it on the corresponding inside the board. The upper part of the wooden square is long gold. Below the wooden square is the lower pass long gold. Next, you can put on the solidification in turn, and the white markers are the spacing point. It is drawn on the main towel according to the construction drawings. This is an important basis for tying it to a solid. Now let's discuss the problem of rust removal of steel bar. Specification: only flakes, but the glass sleeves need to take rust removal measures. Rust after rain does not need to be removed. Then you can kidnap and fix it. Lonely gold and the intersection point of the lower steel bars also need The 30-second construction process: rubber plate steel bar binding and smashing. The first thing to do, the rubber plate bottom steel bar. Rubber plate bottom steel bar. Before tying, the reinforcement spacing should be marked on the roof formwork. Each side should be marked with spacing. No matter which construction process, should be measured and positioned repeatedly. Avoid error accumulation. Next, you can lay the rubber sheet. Bottom steel. Just follow the spacing just marked. In turn. Then place it in the other direction. Then you can tie it up. Also make sure that every intersection point is grasped. After the bottom steel bar, you can tie the Madden rebar. Madden steel is a technical measure to support gluten. It should be emphasized that, after the bottom tendon, water and electricity pre-embedded line pipe due to the extremely complicated process of embedded, so take it out separately. I put it on the homepage and did a detailed analysis. Now let's learn about gluten laying. There are many knowledge points about WireClever version steel bar. Everyone can actively discuss the proposal. I will actively reply to every language. After the gluten reluctance is complete, you can tie each intersection point firmly. So far, negative floor beam, reinforcement work for wall panels, and the template project is complete. There is also a water and electricity line pipe pre-embedded. The 33rd construction step. Concrete pouring of negative layer column beam wall slab construction. Many people have a misunderstanding. It's the concrete pouring that builds the wall, separate from the concrete pouring of the two slabs. In fact, most of them are poured in one piece, unless it exceeds a certain size. Requires expert demonstration, except for the tall formwork support system. Let's do a simple forward rewind. This is what our negative floor looked like before construction. So this is what the negative body looks like when it's finished. So I'd like you to go to the top of the negative level. Explain the floor to you, how it was built layer by layer. So just now we showed you what it looked like before the construction of our negative first floor, including our current negative layer, after the construction is completed. What are we all connected through? So take a look. We build edges with our constraints. Hold. He's one of our resume wall builders. Then take a look through our resume wall. Reinforce through our resume wall. That is to say, our floors are reinforced through our columns. Layer by layer, right. Then this leakage length, what is it called in our technical terms? It's called a lap. Right, we could also call it stubble. We can only get through. We can get up layer by layer. Right, so let's take a quick look. Main structure, how was it built layer by layer? Construction, constraint, construction, edge press, and hold construction. Hand layer construction, resume wall construction. Direct reflection of wall pillar formwork on. At the same time, interspersed construction, the 34th construction step, and exterior wall double row protective scaffolding project. To the top of the shooter layer. Tie to the hand top beam. Hand roof reinforcement and hydropower embedding. Hand roof reinforcement project completed. So this time, hand building the wall, beam slab, and hydroelectric jade barrier. That's how the floor goes up layer by layer. It can be done next. Hand concrete poured. Hand layer wall beam slab pouring concrete. The second floor construction is the standard floor above the second floor. All construction processes, the construction process is the same. And so, we don't have to go through and over again. Let's go directly to the two intersecting processes. The 35th construction process lifting tower crane operation. It was built layer by layer. The height of the building also increase in height. Tower crane as an important vertical transportation tool. As the floor increases, continuous jacking operation. Here we go. Let's enjoy the lifting process of the tower crane. The 36th construction process driving suspension angle summer vacation. This is the wall scaffolding. With the construction progress of the main structure, demolish every 6 floors. Here we go. Let's take a look at the main structure. The next floor, that is, the capping construction of the main structure. Top roof steel bar binding operation. At this point we will find the wall column steel bar has no upward head because this is the last floor. No need to connect up anymore. Did you notice? We have put on down jackets from short sleeves. No matter after spring. I am determined to dedicate wonderful content to you for do not change. Let's enjoy the concrete pouring. Give a close-up shot. The sky suddenly snowed. It's so cold. The coat I'm going to wear will be back soon. What about we showed you a little concrete pouring. Pour the walls and beams first. Right. This is our pouring order. Then we will according to our pouring order. Shock him. Shock down in turn. What about our series of courses? It's us recording a floor. The most complete course. So at this point, the construction of the main structure. So let's learn about quadratic structures. Before the construction of the second, insert a construction process for everyone. It's the basement exterior wall waterproof. So think about it. Think back. I'm with you. When doing the foundation of our construction process, when making our base plate waterproof, is something wrong with us? Put our SYBS waterproof membrane. Right. It was rolled up from the inside of our brick membrane. It's rolled up. How wide is it? Let's take a look. 200 wide. Right. What did he do then? So think about this. He and our building facade. What does it matter? Let me show you. Let's take a look. And this is what I was showing you. Our base plate is waterproof and thrown up. Right. Which part did he build with? He laps with our facade waterproof. Right. In one package. Wrap up our whole building. Right. He has to waterproof the base plate with us. Connect. Form a hole. So let's take a look. What are these things? These things are ours. Exterior wall waterproof additional layer. Its width is 500. Along the full length of our yin and yang corners. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Along the full length of our yin and yang corners. Right. This is our facade waterproof. After we finish the additional layer, hey, we're going to waterproof him our facade. What about him and us? The whole base plate is waterproof and thrown up. Perfect lap. After the connection is completed, it is thrown up to form a hole. What about his lap length, including his width staggered? It is the same as our base plate waterproof. The only difference is what? He needs to be sticky. That is, our exterior wall waterproof needs to be fully glued. Hollow drums are absolutely not allowed and must be fully glued. Why is that? Anti-shedding. Detailed video about basement exterior wall waterproofing. Super detailed analysis. Interested friends can go to my homepage to watch and Shear. 37th construction step. The kidnapping structural column of the secondary. The core of the secondary structure is the wall that divides the space, and the structural can be enhance the integrity and stability of the wall. The structure is mainly composed rib and solid gold composition. Lashing of cast members different from the main structure. The constructor should first tie and form, then tie the link with the main structure. Lap length of structural column and jade buried steel bar. Structural columns and length of penetration into the main structure and solitary gold in the overlapping area. Is encryption required? It's open for discussion. I will actively participate and answer every question carefully. Here we go. Let's enjoy the binding of the structural columns together. Thirty-eighth construction step. Secondary structure diameter. The diameter of the secondary structure can effectively enhance the lacing of gas walls and main structures. The main steps of paper towels are based on the punching knife blowing out glue. Then insert the steel bar. Here we go. Let's go learn the 39th construction step. The 39th construction step. That's where the fish is standing now. This place is the bathroom. Since the bathroom is a water room, so to set up plastic in this place, concrete clamshell. The first thing to do is to make the shooting template, according to the position of the bathroom wall. Formwork with copper wall width and height of 300 m. And then you can pour the concrete. This is what it looks like after pouring. SYBS or anti-rock on it can effectively prevent moisture from eroding the walls of the bathroom. 40th construction process. Air column. Secondary structural wall. Secondary structural aerated concrete air block is used. Aerated concrete gas block is a lightweight porous, thermal insulation, good fire performance, determinable and polymer has a certain seismic capacity. New building materials. Column. The aerated concrete air block is made of finished mortar. It is important to emphasize here that mixed mortar is used for the air column of the above ground structure. Cement mortar is used in underground structure of air column. Next, let's rejoice to reward the whole air column process of the partition wall in the bathroom. There are many knowledge points of technical engineering design. A super detailed analysis of the process from here on my homepage. Detailed documentation of the entire and all the knowledge points. The 41st construction process supports the hanging board. The lower hanging plate is a structural measure of the secondary structure. Steel bars should be installed in the lower hanging plate to enhance its rigidity. The 42nd construction process is to set up the main construction formwork. The pouring port should be reserved above the template for later pouring of concrete. The 43rd construction process supports the blasting pillar formwork. The blasting pillar is set at the reserved hole at the entrance door. It is to install the entrance door or the reinforced measure. The 44th construction process is to set up the door opening lintel. The lintel is the support hole. Important basic measures for the wall above. The 45th construction process is to set up the wooden roof under the window. Window downward pressing, an important technical measure for installing. It's a constraint. The roll of the top free end of a gas. All the above secondary structural construction uniform distribution of steel to enhance the rigidity of the construction. The 46th construction step. Quadratic concrete pouring for related structural measures. After completing this task, the construction of the secondary structure is coming to. Here we go. Let's go learn the next construction process. The 47th construction process, indoor plastering project. The plastering project itself has many processes. Here we go. Let's take a quick look at the plastering project. Construction process. I want to learn erasure engineer and fans of detailed processes and technical parameters. You can go to my homepage from the ultra-detailed analysis of this process. 48th construction process, roofing engineering. And there's a lot of process involved in roofing. So let's take a look. Share the process of roofing engineering. The first step in the construction. What's that? It is to make a roof organized drainage system. The first thing to bear the brunt is the installation of the water. This is our UPVC drain pipe. What is this? What is this? Yeshwiko, this is our Yeshwiko. He's going out through the wall, right? Who will he link with in the future when he goes out through the... And our exterior walls. Downspout, right. At this time, the water inlet can be installed. Here we go. You can do the local strengthening of the tube and yin and yang corners. The local reinforcement is used, and designed to fill waterproof lactation points. Inferior angle enhancement. The third construction process. It's polyurethane waterproof coating. Well known. Waterproof coating is basically used for bathroom waterproofing. Then he used it in Nameless. Is it reasonable to use as a waterproof layer? This time, we're going to go into detail. It's actually only waterproof material characteristic. It is actually only waterproof paint, which is a reaction curing, has high strength, large elongation, good water resistance, and other strong adaptability to base deformation. After it comes into contact with solidified on the base surface, form a solid layer, tough seamless integral anti-film. What construction scenarios are waterproof coatings suitable for? It can be in the direct construction on various substrates, wet or dry. So polyurethane waterproof coating, there is no problem with roof waterproofing at all. Polyurethane waterproof and good weather resistant. High temperature does not. Low temperature irregular. Excellent anti-aging properties. Oil resistant and wear resistant. Ozone resistance, acid and alkali corrosion. More importantly, the polyurethane waterproof coating is dense. Waterproof layer intact. No cracks. No pinholes. Bubble-free water vapor permeability coefficient is small. It has both waterproof function and interval function. The most amazing thing, it is self-healing and waterproof for a very long time. Cracks smaller than 0.4 millimeters to repair itself. After the first waterproof and fully cured, you can perform a second polyurethane ester waterproof construction. Be sure to paint evenly. At this time, some fans raised questions. Why build it twice? Mainly to ensure the thickness and uniformity of the coating. To improve the adhesion of the coating, durability and water resistance. The second waterproof coating can fill tiny gaps. Enhanced water resistance. Only the total thickness of the waterproof coating. It should be controlled above 1.5 millimeters. Next, you can build the roof to find the broken layer. Foam cement is used to find the broken layer of the roof. What are the characteristics of foam cement? After the quality is clean, it can also be kept warm. Broken sound insulation, waterproof and fireproof performance is relatively balanced. Foam cement. What is it? It foams the foaming machine evenly through the foaming machine. Then mix evenly with our cement. Then pump it to the roof through us. Then find a broken maintenance molding. The next step is to install the roof exhaust system. After slotting is completed, you can bury the exhaust pipe, the place where the exhaust pipe intersects with the exhaust pipe, to form an effective connection. To ensure that the entire exhaust system forms a whole. At this time, three-way pipe fittings will be used. Now, a lot of fans have asked questions. Why are you looking for slopes on the roof? What about setting up the exhaust pipe? Looking for a slope. The main purpose of setting up the exhaust pipe. It is to solve the thermal insulation and the problem of moisture discharge in the slope-seeking layer. This prevents the roof from bubbling, cracking and leakage. At this time, it's time for a crucial construction process. It is to install the exhaust pipe. This is the key material to ensure that excess water is discharged. Now we're going to put an elbow on the end. Does anyone know why this elbow is added? Then we do. What should I do after finishing the exhaust pipe? Let's do this. Our leveling. Leveling. What material is the leveling layer? A cement mortar. Cement mortar leveling layer, cement mortar. Then why do you need to make a cement mortar leveling layer? Because our next step is to waterproof. Right. We still have to waterproof it in 5 seconds. What material is our waterproof? SYBS modified asphalt waterproof cutting to layers of 3/4. Right. When waterproof, let me explain to you the relevant knowledge points of waterproofing. But there were questions. Say, why can't it be waterproof and do it directly? Right. Why? Because our base plate is waterproof. Because our base plate is waterproof. It can be laid empty. But our roof waterproofing must be fully sticky. Yes. So, we do not have the conditions for full stickiness. Right. So, we're going to make one. So, we're going to make a cement mortar leveling layer. Let's take a look. What is the average thickness? 3 centimeters. After the average thickness reaches 3 centimeters. Right. In fact, it is waterproof for us. Create a working face. Let's take a look. Let's get a close-up shot. Can you look at this? After this is done, we can do our SYBS on this surface. Modified asphalt waterproof membrane. This is our cement mortar leveling layer. It's sitting on our foam cement. Right. After the leveling layer is poured, it needs to be polished. After the leveling layer is completed, it can be waterproof. First, spray the edge bottom free. SYBS changed its surname. Waterproof membrane construction. The first thing to do is to treat the water outlet. After treating the water inlet, you can make an additional layer of yin and yang corner. And you know what? What is the width of the additional layer of yin and yang corner? What is the paving width of the plain facade? The first thing I want to tell you is, additional layer coil width is 500 millimeters. The plain elevations are 250 millimeters each. At this time, some fans raised questions again. Why do yin and yang corners need to be sub-inner layers? And you know why. Then everyone knows that after the waterproof additional layer is complete, what to do? It's time to lay the roof flat roll. The roof plane coil is pasted with hot velvet. Room is different from the garage base plate, can take empty shop. Just make sure that the overlap part is full. Roof coil construction, no matter which part needs to be full of. Now this is another big point of knowledge. That is, the coil paving should be in the direction of, that's the roll near the ridge. It should be placed on the coil near the water outlet. This also determines, coil paving of roof plane should be along the length, spread from the bottom, gradually move towards the roof ridge. So, it's guaranteed to start from the black ridge. A roll needs a roll. There is no way to leak water. At this time, some fans will ask, how many layers of our roofing waterproof membrane are there in total? The first thing I want to tell you is, we are first-class waterproof. 3+ for 2 to fortification. Layer for millimeters. 1 layer of 3 millimeters. Now, a very controversial point has arisen. The 4 millimeters one should be constructed, or build the 3 millimeters first. Everyone should observe carefully. Second, waterproof paving position. His lap seams should completely avoid the first waterproof seams. The second pass of waterproof membrane. Do you work from low to high? One-time paving construction to the roof ridge. Next, you can do the clear water business. The water storage depth must be guaranteed. Cover all coil benchmarks. After the surface water storage time reaches 24 hours, you can put water. Roof waterproof protective layer construction. The waterproof cover is made of diluted concrete. Make sure the middle is twice high. This way, the rain can be quickly discharged the roof through the leak, so as to ensure that the roof does not accumulate. So, let's go back inside. Continue to learn other processes. Forty-ninth construction step: installation of indoor drainage system. The indoor drainage system is also divided into many processes. On my homepage, ultra-detailed analysis of stagnant water drainage system. 50th construction step: installation of indoor water accumulation system. After the water supply and drainage are completed, after the floor heating installation is completed, detailed procedures for floor heating. You can go to my homepage. Water and electricity collection to. After passing the suppression test, the concrete cover can be poured. The protective layer should use C25 series concrete. '51st construction process installation window. After the window is installed, the leveling process of the indoor ceiling can be interspersed. The reason why it is necessary to install and then re-level the ceiling, it's because the negative sun is afraid of the waterproof putty is used for leveling the top of the case. Waterproof, moisture-proof, and high strength. It is particularly commendable to make his adhesion strong. No hollowing, no falling off. '52nd construction step: exterior wall real stone paint decoration project. The exterior wall decoration project is extreme. It's about waterproofing, leveling, insulation. 19 to the construction process. Fans who are interested in learning can go to my homepage. Super detailed analysis. So let's go indoors, learn the other two construction processes. The 53rd construction process: installation of protective railings. The 54th construction process installs the entrance door. The 55th construction step installs solar panels. Solar panels absorb sunlight and generate heat. Then it heats up through a vacuum. The tube transfers heat energy to the indoor water tank. From now, you have a permanent supply of free hot water in your home. 56th construction step, installation of natural gas pipelines and meters. This is centralized work. It is one of the important measures to facilitate life. 57th construction process, toilet waterproofing. Waterproofing construction before the house. It is an indispensable part of construction project. One of the processes, bathroom waterproofing before the first thing to do is to clean up at the grass. This is the key to the effectiveness of waterproofing project. One of the measures to waterproof construction, thorough cleaning of the work surface, especially the yin and yang corners and the root. This is the weak part of the bathroom waterproof. To clean up loose stones and slurry. Believe this time. Bullet comment section and comment section have boiled. Everyone is discussing waterproofing before handing over is pointless. Because of the water and electricity renovations will destroy these waterproof substrates. And do you think so? Waterproofing construction before, is it a waste of resources? And I tell you, no. I'll be in the process later. Give you a detailed explanation. After the work surface is cleaned and the stones and buttresses, you can carry out grassroots cleaning. Cleaning and cleaning go hand in hand. The ultimate goal is to create cleanliness for waterproof clean work surface. After the basic cleaning is waterproofing construction can be carried out. Weak parts of bathroom waterproofing. It is the yin and yang corners and the root of the pipe. There will be slight seams in the above parts, gaps and microscopic holes. It's time to face yin. Strengthening treatment for yang angle and pipe root. The magnetic channel process is called a reinforcement, designed to plug cracks and tiny holes. It is the top priority of bathroom waterproofing measures, and the water and electricity slotting in it won't break the track waterproofing, so the waterproofing of the house before construction is very necessary. So, what waterproof material is used for the reinforcement layer? JS and water do not leak after full stirring. It can be used for the construction of reinforcement layer. The combination of these two materials can effectively block the gap. Let's take a look next. Which parts need reinforcement? Ground gaps should also be strengthened. The bathroom entrance should also be dealt with more carefully. After the reinforcement layer process, it needs to stand for more than 24 hours. It is advisable to darken the color and form a smear. The waterproof surface of the bathroom uses JS waterproof coating. The full name of JS waterproof coating. It's polymer cement waterproof coating. Polymer cement waterproof coating is made synthetic polymer emulsion and various additives, optimized combination of leaf and matching powder, composite to component waterproof coating. It is a kind of high elasticity of synthetic polymer materials. There are inorganic materials. Waterproof materials is a typical smear waterproof, commonly used for bathroom waterproofing. This time, there is a new controversy. Why don't you use polyurethane waterproof paint? Polyurethane waterproof coatings are divided into water-based and grip and water resistance of JS waterproof coating is significantly better than water-based polyurethane waterproof coatings. What about oily polyurethane? Oily polyurethane is more waterproof although, but it suffers from a high proportion of environmental make it unsuitable for indoor waterproofing. So let's think of the bathroom is waterproof. Excellent waterproof and environmental performance. JS waterproof coating. According to the technical specifications for building relevant provisions of GB/T to 3445 to 023 GS in the bathroom, the thickness of the waterproof coating films should reach more than 1 point. In order to achieve the total thickness of the coating, we used a 3-story construction method. And primer once, medium coating once, apply once. And what you're seeing here is the base map. According to the technical specifications for building waterproof, the waterproof coating needs to be extended to the 500 mm within the floor of the room. The goal is to form a double layer of protection. After the first waterproof coating construction is it needs to stand for 24 hours. Then the halfway construction can be carried out. So, what is the height of the anti-wall on the waterproof? The non-shower area is 300 mm. Shower trend greater than or equal to 1,800. Due to uncertainty, the location of the shower decorated by later users. So, the bathroom wall is waterproof and uniform height of 300 mm. The construction of JS waterproof coating must be uniform and tight, and each smear should form an effective knot. This can form a tight, detailed waterproof coating. The second time, it should also stand for more than 24 hours. The map can only be made at this time, and that's the third pass. 3 times after the construction, the total thickness of demolding can reach more than 1.5, can be effectively used on bathroom walls and form a close, detailed waterproof coating. Workers should wear soft-soled shoes during construction. Avoid irreversible damage to the waterproof flare. After the third pass is completed, it also needs to stand for more than 24 hours. Then do a water storage test. The water storage test should reach more than 24 and no leakage point. There is no leakage. To go to the next floor to observe the roof. Here we go. Let's go look at the plumbing of the bathroom. The 58th construction process is to tighten the pipe and install the water meter. The 59th construction process area decoration. The wall of the work area adopts the construction technology of the elevator door cover adopts imitation floor tile skirting line readily available. So far, the house has met the conditions for rough to live. Let's go home and have a look. Due to the video, the details of this building are often limited. The construction process cannot be shown but on my homepage, from the main structure of this building, detailed explanation of all the construction. Then next, are we going to decorate the house? Please get ready. I'll show you right away. All construction processes of a renovation project. After closing, we will design the house according to our own wishes. House layout according to personal preference. Then let's learn now. Go to the first process of decoration. Building layout and water and electricity renovation by collecting and smash. Adapt to furniture placement. Before the most important work is the suppression test of floor heating, since floor heating does not require, and it is a hidden project. Therefore, it is necessary to prep. Is there any leakage point in the floor heating pipeline? Floor heating pressure should be tested with special equipment. Compression test pressure should not be less than 1.5 times the working pressure for 100 billion, i.e. 600 billion. That's 6 kilograms. After the pressure is lowered to 6 kilograms, it needs to be. Duration reaches 30 minutes. Pressure drop not more than 50 billion Pa. That is, the decrease of no more than 5% is qualified. Then you can smash the wall according to the design plan. The pattern of house delivery is basically reasonable. The part that needs to be smashed into the wall is still very. What everyone is more concerned about is which walls can be smashed, which walls should not be smashed. Secondary structural wall and play a role. The space effect is as light as 7 walls, which can be smashed. Reinforced concrete weighing walls cannot be smashed. How should one judge? The best way is to find the property and ask for construction drawings. If not, tap on the wall. The dull sound is removable secondary structural wall. The sound is crisp, and what's silent is the reinforced concrete wall. Then someone said, how did the air block wall smash out the This is the gas block wall effectively connected to the main structure. Connected structural measures along the height direction to tie bars per 500 millimeters. The next step is to cut off these steel bars. You can find out for yourself if it is to smash the wall at will and then decide. Can you also take paper towels? Measures to enhance wall construction. So try to keep the original house layout. Also a good choice. So let me show you. Water and electricity renovation pipeline. Everyone is most concerned about, that is, should the water and electricity pipeline go to. The advantage of going to the top is that it is safe. It is easier to repair later. The disadvantage is that the price is high, reduced service life. And here's the thing. Pipeline roofing requires a whole house ceiling. Reducing the overall floor height will also increase the cost. The advantage of pipelines is that they are cheap. The pipe is underground. Don't worry, long service life. The disadvantage is that once the water leaks, but now the PP to 2, after the installation is completed, and the pressure, 50 years of quality assurance. So after the water and electricity, don't forget to ask for the warranty card. Go to the top or go to the ground. Decide according to the personal decoration budget. After determining the plan for going to the you can follow the decoration plan. The pipeline in the studio is slotted. Before slotting, first enter the door location. Throw out the pre-buried water supply pipe of the construction unit. The water supply line will be cut later here. Connect. It should be emphasized, close the valve in advance before cutting off the water supply pipe. At this time, what is in case is the water remaining in the... You can put the temporary water pipe now. It is connected to the household water supply pipe in the cutting position. Then go and open the valve for the well. Then you can conveniently use water at this time. Now you can open the grass. The hose that just came out of it was connected to the cutting machine. It can play a role in the cutting process. Slotted, based on the decoration layout and wiring plan. I have just explained to you how to go to the top. The advantages and the comprehensive cost of going to the top is twice. Roll, you can choose according to your personal budget. Try not to cut the steel bar when the wall is grooved. After the grooving is completed, the electric ladder groove can be used. The depth of the ladder groove is also the final depth of the wire. It is the wire pipe diameter plus 10 mm. Now let's go to the slotting, what it looks like when it's done. If you have any questions, you can also discuss. I will actively participate in it. Water and electricity pipeline slotting includes circuit and circuit transformation. Slots account for more than 80%. So, what we're going to do, we're going to learn. Here is the strong electric box. It is the main control box responsible for powering the whole house. It is required that the height from the ground shall not be less than 1 point. This is a weak electric box required to be above 0.3 meters above the ground. The indoor circuit system is divided into two. One is strong electric, including switch socket, lighting, refrigerator, air conditioning, is the branch of the system responsible for powering the home. The voltage exceeds 220 volts. So, it is, to put it bluntly, anything that can electrify people. Another type is weak electric, network cable, telephone cable. Next, you can install the wire box. Here are 2 wire boxes according to the wiring scheme. So, you need to put 2 wire connected together by child and mother buckles. After comparing the location, you need to install the socket. Switch. The socket wire box should be made of flame retardant materials. Usually choose PVC. 1 assembly. Some connection boxes and tubes. The wire boxes are connected through child and mother buckle. At this time, the wire box should be fixed with cement, firm and upright. Due to the size of the slot, it is impossible to seam, so fill the cement mortar in the slotted position. Secure the wire box, fixed in the slotted position. Circuit system transformation is divided into point. Point is line, and or the location and function modification of. So, wires are wires? So far. Point of the circuit system. The wire box pre-embedding work is completed. Due to the fixed wire box, the cement mortar requires a solidifier. So, at this point, we can intersperse the waterway renovation. Now, the core of stagnant water, access to indoor from outdoor feed well. Then it is transported to various water. The water point of the function room. Each water point is using water at the same time. It generates wastewater. This involves drainage in waterways. So, the waterway system consists of 2 parts. Stagnant water. After determining the work content of the waterway system, according to the construction sequence, the water collection part, the water supply pipe adopts double layer PP to pipe. The inner layer of the double layer PP to tube is made of and inhibits bacterial growth. Improve water safety. The inner wall is smooth and not easy to hang. Low flow resistance. PP to pipe and pipe fittings are connected by hot melt. So, what are the relevant points of hot melt connection? When hot melt connection, combine PP to pipes and fittings. Put in both ends of the hot melt machine motor cycle during the heating process to ensure that the pipes and fittings are heated evenly, and apply some pressure. When the heating time is reached, quickly move pipes and fittings, remove from the heating mold, and connect immediately. When connecting, keep the coaxiality of the pipe and the pipe quickly. A straight line without rotation is inserted evenly to the desired depth. Do not twist fittings or pipes during insertion. Next, according to the arrangement plan. Measurement takes the pipeline. Cut with special tools. The incision should be vertical, no burrs or irregularities on the incision surface. So, why after connecting the elbow, do you want to cut it into short tubes? Take it easy. You'll see in a moment. Now it is the short tube that has just been processed and the whole PPR pipe connected. Renovation work of water supply pipe. It is to radiate to the water point while processing and making. Water usage is usually based on your needs. For example, this is the stagnant water pipe in the radiant kitchen. Now some friends have raised questions. Shouldn't be the first. Is the water supply pipe connected to the entrance door? You can see it in a few seconds. At this time, it is facing the entrance door. After the kitchen water point layout is completed, you can use it as a water point for the balcony. The first thing to do is measure the length of each pipe branch. So the next step is to take the measurements and take the pipeline. Let me emphasize to you here, this video does not advertise any material. The water collection system is divided into hot water, direct drinking water. The trial tap water only supplies cold water. Cold water is delivered directly to the washing basin. Wash basin water purifier. Dishwasher. So, where does the hot water come from? So think about it. Are the water heaters on the balcony? That's where the hot water comes from. To put it blunt, cold water goes through cold pipes to the hot water heater, the shower that is heated and then transmitted to the bathroom, wash basin, kitchen sink. Then this process, what kind of pipeline is it going through? To realize the interactive use of hot and cold water, I will be in the construction process later. A few sounds for everyone. Crossing the bridge bay in the circle should sit on a cold water pipe. Connect the three-way elbow. Connect the Ness elbow. Connect the Ness elbow on the horizontal branch. This is the Ness elbow that connects the sink hose. One end of the three-way elbow is connected to the water supply. The other end is connected to another Ness T. This Ness T is connected to the washing machine. One of these two Ness elbows. Hot water for the wash basin. A cold water supply. Where does the hot water come from? I will show you in detail later. Seasonal wash. Now let's go back to the kitchen and continue learning. This is stagnant water with knots to stretch. It is also the main valve for indoor water accumulation. Use the water supply pipe drain card to fix the two water supply. The hot and cold water pipes, when installing, the principle of hot left and cold right. This place. Why is there an extra water supply pipe? What does it do? The entrance and water main valves are installed here. Now, do you know where this steel pipe chamber is connected? Connective wire soreness. Connect the NES elbow. Connect the household water supply pipe. Connect indoor cold water pipe. This pipeline is to supply water from outside, tightly connected to the cold water pipe in the... And what does this canal in the middle do? Who are these three pipes finally connected to? Even if you use a row card to fix the water while playing a fixed role, it is also conducive to the next step of... And then you look at the water supply pipe and think carefully about the role of each pipeline. Direct head hot melt connection. The direct head is directly connected to the two PP to pipes. Although the workers are now grabbing these two pipes, but the next thing to connect is definitely this tube. This is the cold hose that supplies the water to the house. Tap water passes through the position of the household valve for pipeline water supply. Then it is transmitted to the indoor cold water pipe. This is where the water in the house comes from, and the initial arrangement of the pipeline. Initial piping for kitchen and balcony water points, after laying 9 digits. What other water points are there indoors? And the bathroom. So the next step is to install the bathroom. And plumbing. The bathroom is the place that uses the most water indoors. It seems that this is just the water supply center of the whole house. This position points to the balcony and bathroom water point arrangement pipeline. And here's what I'm going to show you. Whole house and water renovate principle of pipeline wiring and line planning. After the water supply pipe is laid, it can be hot melted and connected. And I'm going to show you this bit value throughout. Why is Shui fan in the stagnant water? Please observe carefully. Let me introduce the stagnant water PP to pipe to you here. PP to pipe replaces UPVC water supply pipe and aluminum plastic pipe. P-pipe PX pipe. PP to tube uses silicon-free tribute polymer technology with high strength and high temperature resistance and aging resistance. Fast flow. And it has a long service life. Let's discuss it again here. Is the waterway on the top or on the ground? The advantage of walking is that the risk of leakage that mostly occurs at pipe joints. Therefore, a pressure test must be done after and ask for a 50-year quality assurance and be sure to take pictures or video recordings. Waterway pipeline location. Going to the top is convenient for later maintenance. The fee will be doubled, and you need a whole house ceiling. Which way to choose, depending on personal preference and decoration. So, I'm going to show you where the hot melt connection of each pipeline. The cold plumbing in the bathroom is complete. The bathroom shower. And where does the hot water for the basin where you wash your face come? Everyone, take it easy and arrange it. Now use the platoon card to fix the lower pipeline first. I told you before, the hot water in the room is cold water delivered to the water. It is heated and then transferred to the shower. Wash basin vegetable sink. Then this place is where the hot and cold water interact. Wash basin hot water point. Is it okay to do it next? Did you get the hot water into the indoor water system? And there's an important intellectual takeaway here. After the online box is basically, it is necessary to use cement mortar ceiling wire box and a gap in the wall. Now let's finish the hot and cold water system on the balcony. This is the hot melt connection of the hot water pipeline. This pipe supplies cold water to the water heater. This canal transfers hot water from the water heater to various water points. When installing hot and cold water pipes in, the principle of hot left and cold right should, when installed in parallel up, the principle of hot on top and cold on bottom. Take apart at this location, then connect to the pipeline at the balcony water point. You should sit on a cold water pipe when crossing the bridge. Smash a small pit and put the bridge temperature can effectively reduce the overlap height of pipelines. Initial travel of stagnant water pipeline. No matter the way of the water supply pipeline, it is horizontal. Now let's take a look at the plumbing line. The water point in the bathroom has a shower, wash basin. They are all water points that require the interaction of hot and cold. Another is to reserve water collection points by sitting down. Now, it's just a water point for the toilet. Four-way key. So far, whatever the water point is, the job is done. I'll show you how to access the outdoor later. Tube wells and water systems. Now let's go learn about circuitry first. PVC pipes should use special springs, bender to bend. Pipeline rupture can be avoided through rational use and improved construction efficiency. The circuit system shown in this case, it's the bathroom roof, other function rooms, but budget permitting, it is still recommended that the circuit system of the bathroom go to the. After confirming the location of the circuit, you can talk about the specific installation method. There are 4 ways to install circuit lines. The first is peer-to-peer. The second is point-to-point horizontal and vertical. And the third is peer-to-peer. The big names are used in this case. It is the most economical and practical breakpoint wiring. I will continue to elaborate throughout the process. What is breakpoint wiring? What you're seeing now is that no matter what, the PVC wire pipe and the wire box are connected by a lock. This is the pipe and wire and the lock that connects. The material of the circuit pipeline is mostly PVC. PVC wire pipe is lightweight, high strength and high temperature resistance, corrosion resistance and other advantages. Let's enjoy it for 2 minutes first, no matter the homework. Walk through it later to relieve. I will try to understand all the essentials of the circuit system. The wire pipe is connected with the wire pipe through a direct head. The bedroom doesn't want to be finished. You're probably wondering by now, if it doesn't work, what's the use? This is not from the distribution box either. Not from the distribution box. How will electricity be used in the... Everyone's doubts. It will suddenly be enlightened in the process display later. Slot width. The clearance between the wires should be greater than or equal to 5 mm. The slotting depth, the diameter of the line pipe plus 10 mm. The circuit pipeline should also be fixed with a platoon. If the budget allows, the circuit lines in the bathroom are best topped. During circuit pipeline radiation, interspersed with waterway operations, now we need to put the outdoor water system thermally connected to the indoor water system. Use to 90-degree elbows. Avoid hard connection of two pipelines. Like an indoor supply of cold water. Set the per filter at this location. Then through the magnetic pipeline, purified cold water, delivered to various water points. Give now. Installation plug for inner wire elbow of whole house water collection system. This is due to the completion of the installation of the whole house. There is a suppression test. This is one of the most important jobs in a catchment system. During the medication, it is necessary to focus on observing whether each connection position. After the plugs of all nest elbows are installed, you can open the valve of the outdoor police, delivered water indoors. So the indoor waterway renovation is done. Now back to the circuit system process work. After the completion of the circuit system, you can thread it. Now the first thing to do is the network cable of the weak current. Is everyone looking at the height now? You can determine the initial position. The electric box is a weak. You remember that. Why can the weak electric box be placed so low? Now all I have to do is put the threading rope and the mesh detail. Then use tape to firmly stick the connection. Then feed the network cable into the jade vein tube. Slowly feed a certain length. Slowly pull the threading rope at the other end. One end sends the wire, and this is called cross-wiring. Now some friends say, I didn't see the pre-buried wire tube either. That's because of this wire tube. It was pre-buried during the main construction phase. So remember this. We must make rational use of the original line. This is the most reasonable and economic, the most secure wiring solution. Please observe carefully. The network cable will come out soon. It should be emphasized, the parallel spacing between strong and weak currents should be more than. After comparing the reserved, you can cut off the connector. After the other end is similarly reserved for a certain length, cut. How is that accurate? Insert the network cable. What about connecting the pre-embedded wire pipes at both ends? At this point, just pull the preset threading rope. The other end of the same string will shake. At this point, you can confirm which tube to thread to. Now look at the threading of the socket cable. The circuitry is divided into two parts. Electromechanical, it refers to the switch socket or the specific power point, like lights, TVS, refrigerator, washing machine. A wire is a wire. Here you see the wiring. The wires in the pipe must be completely disconnected. Wire inside a pipe, joints and kinks are absolutely not allowed. The connector should be set in the pass box. Different circuits in strong electricity, different uses. Conductors of different voltages are strictly prohibited from. The threading cleanser cannot exceed 40% of the pipe diameter. Line pipe adopts to type 2. The number of threads of the same pipe shall not exceed 4. The goal is to maintain sufficient cooling space. During threading, disconnect live wires along wires near different circuits. Electrical specifications clear. The wires of different circuits should be kept independent. Otherwise, short circuits will often occur. So, let's talk about the electrical wiring that you're concerned. Household wires usually use BV single bone sound wire. B is the wire. V is polyvinyl insulation. The reason why we have to put the wires into the pipe, just to protect the insulation of the wires from damage, injury. So, how thick a line should be used for each electricity? Lighting to 0.5 square meters, ordinary socket to 0.5 square meters, air conditioner socket for square meters, bathroom for square, kitchen for square meters, washing machine socket for square meters. Ordinary household circuits are usually set 10 circuits. One is the basic circuit, including master switch, lighting ordinary socket, kitchen and bathrooms. There are also high power lines and central air conditioning, steam oven and refrigerator. Now everyone is more concerned about what is the so-called power source of these three sockets. That's the route that's relevant to this case. Radiation thinking, that is, the safest breakpoint radiation ideas, that is, go to the nearest point. What do you mean by entering the computer? Is to use the pre-sale line before the house is delivered. Utilize existing lines to connect. The plan to retrofit the wires is the only thing that can be the best solution for changing the wiring. It can effectively reduce the cost of circuit modification. If you have to pursue good looks, then you can choose point-to-point process and whole house line change. Emphasize a knowledge point here. The whole house circuit should also be set up. Control circuit. It's the refrigerator line. If you are away for a long, the house can cut off other power lines. Keep the refrigerator line separately. Maintain refrigeration and freezing function. So, what's a circuit? It's through wires. Connect tops to points. The point is the switch socket or the main switch. The main power line has live and neutral wires, plus air switches and leakage protectors. This forms an electrical circuit. The entire indoor electrical system. It's made up of multiple loops. So, what is the function of the air switch? The air switch is to limit the strength of the current. Once the nail current is exceeded, it will automatically turn off the power fail. That's what we call a trip. 2.5 squares of wire, with 16 amp or 20 amp air switch. For square wires, with a 20 amp or 25 amp air switch, everyone can choose the appropriate air switch. After confirming the empty openings depending on the purpose, determine whether an empty switch with leakage protector is required. Any socket or water room that is frequently plugged in and unplugged, you need to choose an air switch with leakage protector. The lighting circuit can be opened using ordinary air. For example, the main switch should be selected, that way no loop will trip. The whole house was without power. Two-stage switch adopts air opening with leakage. Who leaks and who trips does not affect the electricity consumption. This is the control circuit, set separately for the refrigerator, directly connected to the secondary switch of the main distribution. This allows for individual control. Now interspersed with the direct drinking water. Direct drinking water is the connect the per filter at one end with water dispenser. Water dispenser point. Until the pre-filter. Be sure to reserve a sufficient length of pipe. And here's what you see. Utilize the original line to merge. That's the original wire. And Xingchuan's wires, parallel, so as to achieve power failure connection. Strong here. Adjust a few knowledge points. Use the original acoustic conductor test and insulation test. New wires can only be connected after they are qualified. Xingchuan's wires should be in accordance with the third line registration. Exciting fire is equally advanced. Fire wire red, zero line blue, ground wire yellow or yellow green. It should be noted that the copper pipe in the strong and weak electrical It is important to emphasize here that the indoor circuit transformation must be set up with dual control and lighting to set to switches. Add a switch at the bedside position. When you get up or go to bed like this, no need to get out of bed. It is especially important for those with There is another very important question. It is the reserve line customized in the ceiling or the hole. It has to be steady. The goal is to prevent the wires from retracting. Now let's learn about the drainage modification of the water, and let's take a look at the balcony for drainage renovation of washing machine. After the PVC pipe is cut, the burrs should be cleaned up. Brush hand PVC special glue at the connection position. The purpose of drainage, it is to transfer the wastewater generated by each water. Wastewater is discharged into designated pipes. The final route is to the municipal official. There are 4 main points of drainage engineering. First of all, it doesn't stink. The second is to ensure smooth drainage. Then you have to make sure that it is not blocked. The last thing is to do not reverse the water. In addition, that's where the pipe has a trap. Can be said. The function of the trap is to deodorize. There is a trap in the drain pipe section of sanitary utensil. There is no need to set traps on drainage pipes. That is to say, sanitary appliances or drainage pipes. There must and can only be one trap. This is building water supply and drainage, mandatory provisions in general regulations. In particular, it is important to avoid direct connection between the hose and the sewer pipe as be sure to take reliable sealing measures at the interface location. Otherwise, stinky bugs are really flying everywhere. The arrangement and direction of the drain. The principle is the shortest principle. Reduce drainage distance. It can effectively improve the efficiency of drainage. Make drainage smoother. Balcony drainage renovation completed. Now let's learn the bathroom wall sign. I don't know if you've noticed a pattern. That is to say, where there is drainage, there must be water. Let's be quiet next. Enjoy the wall sign that everyone is thinking about. Wall drainage saves space. It can make the bathroom more simple, elegant, and beautiful. Wash basin structure can be optimized, enhance the overall sense of hierarchy of the space. So far, the water and electricity renovation. After the hydropower renovation, it's time to do the sound insulation of the drainage pipe. What you see now, it's the bathroom sewer system. After many owners settled in and used it, basically every moment, there will be the sound of running water. It makes a lot of noise, especially on that silent night. The sudden noise of the water can really make you collapse. So, the first thing to do is to soundproof the sewer pipe. Noise reduction. So this is the damping plate. Damping sheet is a viscous material with high internal friction coefficient. By sticking to the surface of the sewer pipe, consumes the vibration energy generated by the impact of water, thereby reducing structural generation and resonance noise. The core principle is, by the elastic deformation of the material, absorb vibration can significantly reduce the impact of water by 30% minus 50, and it can relieve the impact of water flow on the pipeline. This extends the service life of the pipeline. The damping sheet is not just installed on the main drainage system. Horizontal pipe control should also be effectively. This is the overall continuous closure, combined effective damping system. So far, sound insulation of sewer. Is the noise reduction process completed? Is it done like this? I want to emphasize to you here, the damping sheet needs to be used with sound insulation cotton. Sound insulation cotton through pore absorb and convert sound wave energy. Can reduce upstairs flushing noise from 65 decibels down to 45 decibels. Sound waves are reflected by countless fibers as they pass superposition and collision. Conversion of sonic energy into heat. Eventually the intensity of the sound disappears. It is important to note here that, if your home is a rooftop or self-built house, there is no need to install damping sheets and sound insulation. Now, cotton cartridge, used with damping tablets, to have the greatest impact, can effectively block water noise. The bathroom can be waterproof now. After the completion of the hydropower renovation process of the deck wall slotting of hydropower transformation pipe, it will destroy the basic waterproofing delivered by the developer. Wall drainage will also destroy the waterproof of the base. At this point, it is necessary to waterproof the bathroom twice. The first job to be done is to use cement mortar. Cover hydropower reconstruction pipe. This technical measure is for waterproof engineering. Create working surface. According to the latest General Code for Waterproofing in Buildings and Municipal and Polymer Water-Based Spraying Waterproof Coating, new materials. During construction, it is necessary to ensure such as water supply pipeline compatibility and structural safety. Avoid leakage or corrosion due to material reactions. So cement mortar not only provides a working surface for waterproofing engineering, it isolates the pipes. Direct contact with waterproof coatings. You still need to be at the bathroom door at this part setting blue water handle to completely isolate the water vapor seepage and leak to a non-waterproof room. The second construction process applies water without leak. The application range of water leakage focuses pipeline location. Watertight is an efficient moisture-proof and impermeable single leakage material. Non-toxic, harmless and pollution-free. Can be used for drinking water projects. Integrate with the base. No aging. Good water resistance. The third construction process brushes GS waterproof paint. Then someone asked, why not use polyurethane waterproof? First, oily polyurethane. Waterproof paint is not suitable for indoor use. The waterproof effect of water-based polyurethane. Good. This is particularly important. GS waterproof coating. It is the only one that can be realized by the current strong steel floor is curious friends might. Why is it strong steel floor soft? This is one of the core points of bathroom waterproofing. The bathroom wall should be rigid waterproof. The ground should be flexible waterproof. While rigid waterproof, it is to tile the wall in the anti-shedding measures taken. If it is flexible and waterproof like the ground, it will form a two-skin effect with the wall base. It will cause the wall tiles to fall off. Only GS waterproof paint can be adjusted with a pen to achieve wall steel bottom flex. Bonding between JS coating and cement base. Strength up to 500 billion pounds. The above can be firmly attached to the wet base surface. Effectively prevent falling off. It is a green and environmental, non-toxic and harm. Can be directly constructed on wet base. Fast curing and simple operation. Short service. An elastic gel-like application is formed by chemical reaction. Effectively block water penetration and has the ability to self-repair subtle cracks. According to the General Code for Waterproofing in Construction and Municipal, the waterproof height of the bathroom wall should reach 2 meters and cover the water area. The wash basin area should be painted with waterproof paint. According to the General Code for Waterproofing in Construction and Municipal Engineering, irrigation basin, the height of the wall waterproof layer should not be less than 1,000. Waterproof and non-water. The corners of the room walls should also be painted. The wall of the functional area of the washing machine should also be painted. Kitchen sewer. The modified location also needs to be painted water. Now, let's learn about bathroom floor waterproofing. The bathroom floor adopts JS flexible waterproof coating. Ground waterproofing should focus on dealing with weak parts. The transfer position of the wall and the ground should be treated with an hydropower transformation part. The walls are due to the physical nature of being 90, so roll coating is used. The ground can be scraped. The flexible waterproof coating on the ground has stretch and crack resistant, can effectively adapt to ground subsidence deform. This is different from the most important physical property of wall rigidity and water, and the requirement of rigid waterproofing is strong bonding for it. High hardness should be convenient for subsequent iron transfer. Then some friends will use the blue dam just now. The blue dam is also the focus of ground wall, one of the places to take care of. Balcony floor flexible waterproof construction. Kitchen floor flexible waterproof construction. It is important to emphasize here that, whether it is the wall or the floor, the waterproof master and apprentice must reach the total thickness should be more than 1.2 mm. Construction according to the coagulation of do the closed water experiment in time. After 24 hours, go to the next floor to see if there is a building. Make sure there is no. The next process can be carried out. It can be done now. The construction process of a whole house ceiling. Most indoor ceilings are made of paper gypsum board. Gypsum board. It is made of building gypsum as the main raw material. Add appropriate amount of additives and fibers to make the core. Using special cardboard as the protective surface. Has lightweight, leader insulation, strong processability, and the construction method is simple. As you can see, wallpaper knife can easily cut through paper plasterboard. Now it is another main material and light steel keel. The light steel keel plays a load-bearing role in the ceiling. Fixed panel and shape support. This is the Ozone version. All Usong versions use advanced environmentally friendly adhesive. The finished product fully meets European standards. Its formaldehyde emission is almost zero. It's really green. Ribbon cutting. His role in the ceiling will be shown in detail later. Ceiling project. The first thing to do is to fix the light steel keel. Fix light steel keel front according to the decorative renderings and the actual size of the site for scribing and positioning. This positioning should consider the room square, so reverse multiple measurements for accuracy. Now you can click on the point, using bucket elastic line. This positioning line is installation and positioning line of steel. After knowing the specific, you can print the horizontal plane. The ceiling is originally designed to beautify the space, so be strict. Precise control of his various technical parameters. The laser controller will be at the bottom of the ceiling market pane. That is, the bottom port. Create an absolute level. Later, you will understand his control principle and effect. And now we have to go to that level. Repeat the height of the corners of the roof. Is there a large error? This work is crucial. Can be in front of the mounting panel. Discover and promptly resolve the partial concave uneven condition. This is also one of the functions of the controller in establishing the horizontal. The next step is to remeasure the flatness of the roof before ceiling construct to retest the flatness of the whole house. Morty also uses this data to correct the ceiling height. Adjust the laser controller to adjust horizontal height up and down. Here we go. Repeat the height of each point from the horizontal plane again. After adjusting to the you can fix the laser controller. After completing the technical, you can install the light steel keel. In this case, a double eyelid ceiling is used. It is currently the most popular ceiling solution, simple and stylish without losing a sense of height. First install the wheel hub according to the ink bucket. To install the keel, use the setting seat to temporarily fix. Remember, this is a temporary fix. The expansion screw will be used for final fixing later. After the nail is temporarily fixed to the, I'm going to use an electric drill to drill hole. The punch is for installation. Expansion screws for preparation. Can't shooting nails satisfy the fixed keel? Nail fixed keel. Risk of falling off after installing the ceiling, especially after 2 years. This risk will gradually increase, so add expansion screws to fix the keel. This way, the firmness of the ceiling can be ensured. This technical measure is the top priority in indoor ceiling engineering. So a good process also needs a good construction process. After the drilling is completed, the expansion screw can be installed. After the expansion screw is tapped in place, it should be this is to make sure the sealing is firm. The most important technical measures for safety. After the light steel keel is installed, the sealing can be installed. The sealing in this case adopts a modular sealing, and in advance according to the decoration and the actual size of the house. In the processing plant, drywall and wheel, according to the arrangement plate, it is processed into modular. This is a wheel hub horizontal hanger. It is through it and hub connection fixed to the top plate. This is a flagellum insert. So, what does it do? Each longitudinal keel has a flagellum insert. Keel horizontal hanger and top plate preset keel connection. Side hub plug-in and side wall preset hub connection. Laser control line controls bottom port level. The wheel hub horizontal hanger can not only play a role, fix roll. You can also adjust the height of the module ceiling. Module ceiling bottom port is horizontally adjusted to preset height. Then it can be tightened and fixed. Now let's go to the side hub plug and wheel hub horizontal adjustment. How is it connected to the preset wheel hub? Side wheel hub plug through clever dual card slot design. Perfect for turning to wheels horizontally. Strongly connected. The design of the keel horizontal hanger is equally exquisite. The fixed keys at both ends are connected to the two keels through the card slot. The middle connection key is even more mysterious. According to the laser, the control line adjusts the ceiling height in real time. This control line is before preset installation level. Please note that this is a staggered knot. Staggered seams and knots can improve the integrity of can effectively reduce hard fracture. After the side keel is inserted, the keel horizontal hanger can be installed. This is the drywall joint reserved for micro process of groove, mainly to enhance the crack resistance at the joints, reduce cracking caused by thermal expansion and contraction. The specification requires the angle of the micro groove to be 4. The depth of the micro groove should reach 1/3 of the thickness of like a 12 mm. The slotting depth should reach more than 4 mm. Now some fans ask why the ceiling is needed, and here you see it. Rough delivered roof. Overall lack of hierarchy. The ceiling can effectively enhance the layering of indoor space, can easily beautify the space. The ceiling can also be effectively raised. The integrity of interior decoration. Continuity and coordination. This is what the ceiling will look like when it's finished. That's some say an overall continuity. What does coordination have to do with it? We unpack upholstered furniture. Let's take a look at the custom wardrobe. Where is its top? At the bottom of the ceiling. In this case, the sense of hierarchy of the whole space. Overall continuity. Is the coordination perfect? Custom wardrobes and ceilings complement each other. Now let's come to the living room. On either side of the living room, there is a ceiling. What's in the ceiling? Downlights or spotlights? It's perfectly embedded in the ceiling. It forms the perfect effect of seeing the light, but not the light. That's another important thing about ceilings. Next, you can install the side drywall to be pre-installed. This is because the bottom surface is not absolutely flat. During the pre-installation to observe local bumps. You can see here the roof is slightly sagging. What should I do at this time? You cut it with a leopard. Next, you can use self-fixing. Lazy company. Side panels and hubs can be strongly connected. The spacing from the company shall not be greater than 200 Then you can measure the length of the last side panel. When cutting gypsum board, use a square ruler as a reference. According to this, vertical cutting can be guaranteed. To use drop now, responsible for the verticality of the side panel. Here we go. It is to use the self-company for the final fixing. This is the company itself. Fixed gypsum board by the company ensures permanent stability. Then someone asks what is a double eyelid ceiling, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Make and install. The first is processing. Paper. One of the advantages of gypsum board is its ease of convenient for on-site processing and production. Drywall. After cutting, use the leopard to make a 45-degree shoot port. You can do it now. The back of the drywall is smeared with white latex. White latex is mainly used to fix gypsum board, attach the ceiling material firmly to the ceiling, and can fill seam gaps, enhance overall structural strength. It has strong adhesion, good water resistance, and non-toxic. The advantages of using safety. After the white latex is evenly applied, it can two boards. The purpose of bonding is to increase the thickness of the enhance overall texture. So, why do we need staggered connections here? After bonding, use nail fixing. Adjust the width of the two plates before fixing the nail. Direction exactly coincides. Then you can do the final fixing. First fix both ends to prevent displacement during operation. Then fix in sequence along the length direction. Bonded double layer gypsum board is double drywall double eyelids. You can spray polyurethane foam glue now. Foam glue has excellent bond strength and weather resistance. Sexual needs are emphasized. Quick drying foam glue is required. Double eyelid ceiling bottom line. Gypsum board to be coated with foam glue. Bonded to the wall. Foam glue not only has excellent bonding properties, it also played a role in leveling the grass roots. That's why you blow left. The reason for blowing right. Now, you can use the nail gun to fix the drywall. Apply white latex. Bonding of two plates. Apply polyurethane foam feet. Here the plates are staggered and lapped, can enhance the integrity of the connection, and can effectively improve structural stability. Here we go. Let's enjoy the construction of the bedroom ceiling together. Chain bar. Double eyelid ceiling single eyelid is about to be completed. Single eyelid finish with double eyelid ceiling. The next step is to draw the outer skin of the bottom line of the gypsum board. Double eyelid ceiling outer skin gypsum board bottom mouth line. Next, the dictation will pop up according to the mark. Then you have to make a plan according to the final line. Look carefully at the unevenness of the roof. Using leopards for pin cutting operations. Cutting operations place extremely high demands on workers. The amount of cutting should be appropriate. Compare with the dark again. Painted white latex. Paste double eyelids to sheetrock. Be sure to ensure the bottom of the gypsum board ink-line coincidence. After confirming that you can use the settings to fix it twice. Bedroom ceiling completed. This is the double eyelid ceiling, simple and generous without losing the trend element. This is the complete processing of the double eyelid ceiling. Installation process. Double eyelid ceiling cleverly exploits the characteristics of drywall. It's very simple and extremely robust. The construction technology is widely used and it fits the historical requirements perfectly. All gypsum board joints are airport process, so it has to be done in complicated, every detail. This is also a model of staggered construction. This is also a staggered building, and 45 degrees. Ceiling complete. After the ceiling is, you can lay the wall and floor tiles. The first thing to do, to determine the paving process of floor tile dry hard cement mortar paving method is used. Also known as the dry paving method, the semi-compound of the dry laying cement and high-quality medium sand are The ratio of cement to sand is 1:3. After stirring half the box evenly, you can add water. How is it determined how much water to add? It is necessary to hold a ball in your hand and fall to the ground to bloom. After the mixing of half a box of material, you can lay half a box of material on the base layer of the At this time, some fans keenly asked questions. Do the whole house floor tiles have to be laid from this place? What is the basis for paving from this place? Don't you need typesetting seams for the paving of floor tiles? What about the seams? I'll give you a detailed analysis later. Now, let's solve another problem. What is the thickness of the paving of dry mixed mortar? That is, what is the top elevation of the floor tile paving? How to control the hole. The height of the floor tiles is on the same plane. This is the level-controlled laser controller. The laser controller will give the whole house floor. Type out a measurable one, absolute horizontal level of elevation, and there will be a red laser line marking on the wall. After the whole house level is established, you can measure it. Measure first, indoor and outdoor height difference at the entrance. Make sure the interior, after the placement is completed, the ground is higher than the slightly higher indoors means step by step, in line with the auspicious meaning of entering the house, and it is conducive to drainage to avoid inversion. The specific height difference can be controlled at 1 to 2 centimeters. The next step is to measure the height of other points in the whole house from the control line. This job is to measure the floor height of the whole house. Degree no difference. Especially the radiation part of the hydropower. Make sure you can cover the entire pipeline. This is one of the advantages of the dry paving method. It can play a role in leveling at the same time. Cover the hydropower renovation pipeline. So, why doesn't the pipeline renovation go to the top? Can't you use the wet paving method if you go to the top? Here you can lose a few pieces each. In a moment, I'll try to understand the advantages and after measuring the floor area of the whole house, you can determine the paving thickness of the hand block floor tiles. Control line down 40 to cm. It's the top of the hand tile. The principle of determination is 1 centimeter higher, and it can cover all hydroelectric pipelines. Now, you can spread the halves of material according to the preset height. Half and material should be evenly avoid local compaction. So, what is the function of this green control line? The first is to control the floor tiles as shown on thing, straight in the north-south direction. There is also a reference basis for floor tile layout seams. Later, I will combine interior renderings with typesetting seams. Tell everyone how to do a good job of typesetting and sewing. Semi-compound should be measured with the cloth, then adjust to the preset height in time. Repeated adjustment and retest. The accuracy of the elevation of the first brick is it's about the floor. Can it be at the same height? After many adjustments and retest, finally reach the preset height. Next, you can move on to tiling and laying. Tiles and paving can optimize the paving effect and ensure the quality of construction. It's stereotyping, the function of positioning floor, tile layout seam. So, the next step is to measure the seam between him, the distance of the control line. The green laser line is the typesetting seam control line. Mark the wall according to the measurement results. Then adjust to the position of the floor tiles. Then you can use a rubber hammer to hit the ground. Brick it and hit it to the preset height. This process is also the process of aviation stone sweet mortar. The height should be remeasured in time during the flight stone to retest the 4 corners of the floor tile. Observe the error value of its various corners. At this time, according to the measurement, adjustment of boulder thickness of ganyan mortar. And then squishy it again. At this time, some friends raised questions. The floor tiles won't just be laid up like this. That's not clean. Don't worry, it will be shown to you soon. Dry mix mortar adjustment completed. Do the bath work again? The first thing to do is to do the homework. Then take charge again, responsible for each focus of the floor tiles in turn. Then according to the retest result, adjust the thickness of the sweet mortar again. After 2 rounds of measurement and this adjustment is a fine-tuning. The first jade tile, a high degree of accuracy is essential. So, it needs to be adjusted to the preset height repeat to prevent errors from accumulating. Then you can drive again with the shop. Then take charge again. The height adjustment of the 4 corners is completed. Here we go. Retest the distance between the floor tile and the layout to avoid the displacement of floor tiles during the row room process. Complete compound preset distance through negative side. So far, the distance from the north-south control line meets the requirements. Does the east and west side lines coincide with the control line? This is the east-west laser control line. The next step is to observe. East and west edges, does it overlap with the east-west control line? Adjust according to the trend of observation results. After adjusting to overlap, the jade tile is completed. Here we go. You can lay the tiles on the next piece of jade. Then why is it still a jade shop? Isn't it already paved? Don't worry everyone. Let's look back patiently. This time, we can put the laser controller. Put it on the jade paved tiles. Use this as a baseline. Control the level of the next jade tile. Next, you can treat Whitesand preliminary leveling. After touching the screen, use the scratch bar for overall level. Use a scratch bar can create the conditions for the next precise leveling. Then someone said at this time, won't scratching the bars scratch the tiles? You can rest assured. Under the scraper bar is rubber. No damage to tiles. After the scratch bar, partial filling of photos can be done in time. After the basic semi-compound is leveled, you can start the tile jade shop operation. I can give you a spoiler here. This brick is the real jade tile. You'll understand what's going on later. Jade tiles are good. You can use rubber vertical floor tiles. Then we can use the size mold. Whether the height of the replica and floor tiles meets the it's high. You can observe it carefully. Control line of laser controller. It will be printed on the size mold. It is based on this to adjust the height of the floor tiles. At this time, the first thing to do is to place it on the tiles that have been determined in height, based on the reading of the laser line on the mold. Use to retest and adjust the height of the floor tiles. At this point, you can place the tile positioning cross. The main function is to control the ash seam between the floor. The 12.5mm cross used in this case, that is, the ash gap between the floor tile, 12.5mm. Jade tile leveling seam. You can put the controller that controls the typesetting. Tiles are on. Retest in time at this time. Is there an error between the control line and the typesetting line? This direction is also responsible. According to the responsible result and timely adjustment of tile edges. Then take charge again. Adjust again. Then retest again, until the typesetting requirements are met. The paving of the first tile is crucial. Don't be sloppy, be sure to measure repeatedly. Make sure the recovery seam is straight and vertical. You can remove the first jade tile now. The paving operation is done. The first thing to do is glue. This is the traditional glue method. The cement slurry is composed of water and cement, can effectively penetrate into the base layer of the and effectively bond with tiles. Before the floor tiles, the question of whether to soak in water, I want to tell you it's not necessary, because they are all porcelain now. There is no need to soak them. Concerns about the robustness of the glue method. It's not necessary. The principle of our decorate on the premise of reliable quality, cost savings, and I'm going to go through that in a moment. The advantages and costs of each paving method. After the glue, the base layer of the two floor tiles, and the connection with the wall. The grassroots level itself should also be painted and disconnect from phosphorus-encrusted brick is to prevent hard particles from shrinking. Then cut yourself apart. It is to remove excess gas. It prevents thermal expansion, important technical measures for hard-forming mercury. It can be officially rolled out now. Did someone say it was put on like this? Don't you scrape tile glue on the back. And I wanted to tell you this. Symphony is enough to make sure the bond is strong and make sure not to control. Yeah, and this requires skilled and responsible workers. It will be firmer if tile glue is used, but the cost will be greatly increased. Take a house of 120 square meters. If all the floor tiles use tile glue, it will increase the material cost by 7,000 and 2,000 yuan in labor costs. The cement slurry in one place should be cleaned, then place the cross that controls the ash seam. So, why not use sealed paving? You can discuss it first. I'll explain more later. Now you can even your homework. Measure height using dimensional molds. Now all you have to do is measure and hammer adjustment until compound preset height. Responsible for each foot point to ensure the leveling of a whole brick. This is the cross-pollination. It can save costs and control the construction quality. And it avoids the large-scale use of tile glue. It is a very environmentally friendly construction method. Now let's enjoy it together. Changes in the paving of wall and floor tiles. The process of paving wall tiles. There is a detailed video on my homepage. Fans who are interested in learning, you can go to my homepage decoration project and watch it. After the wall and floor, you can start the sewing operation. This case, the wall and floor tile paving scheme adopted is flow joint paving. So after the paving is completed, the beautiful seam it should be carried out 7 days after the wall and floor. The 7-day reservation is to ensure the base layer of the completely solidified. This measure is to avoid moisture failure of the sealant. The first construction process of the beautiful seam is to cut the gap. The wall and floor tiles are in the process. It is inevitable that the cement slurry will remain in the. At this time, the brick seam needs to be cut. The depth of brick seam cutting is not the deeper the better. The ideal depth is 3 to 5 millimeters. And ensure that it is continuous, and if the gap is deep or shallow, during the process of pressing each seam, bubbling will occur. So be sure to do a good job in the tile cutting process. For the follow-up beauty, create good construction conditions. The second construction process is to clean up the dust generated by the incision, then use a vacuum cleaner to sweep the dust away. Collect. The third construction process is brick seam waxing. The purpose of it is to facilitate cleaning the remaining seam material. Make sure every brick seam is waxed in place. The fifth construction process heats the seam agent. The sewing agent should be heated according to the weather conditions. The heated sealant can be fill the brick seams with more depth. The hose can be installed next. After the hose is in place, you must first print out the 20 centimeters waste. The purpose is to prevent the ineffective beauty sealant from not. The sixth construction process, filling seam agent. The beautiful seam should be constructed on the wall, and first construct the yin and yang corners. Then fill the adjacent vertical brick seams. The sewing agent should be uniform and appropriate. Don't just make a thin layer to save materials. Next, the horizontal seam can be filled. So why not make a beautiful seam on the ground first? If you make a beautiful seam on the ground, there is a possibility of stampede pollution. Now let's change the angle. Look at the filling depth of the sealant. The sewing agent must be filled tightly. In this way, it can effectively solidify. It needs to be emphasized that the angle of gluing should be larger, so that you can hit deeper and fuller. It can be sewn now. The seam should also start from the yin and yang corner. Clean up with pressure. Then press the seams to both sides based on the horns. Press the seam to the other side. The walls need cliff ventilation. Then press the flat seam to both sides with this. Next, let's take a look at the beautiful seams on the ground. The brick seams are cleaned and waxed again. Bathroom floor drains also need beautiful. At this point, we can come to the conclusion. An inner section requires 3 bends. Bedroom floor filling sealant. Pull out a ventilation first. Then press the seams on both sides separately. After 24 hours of sewing agent, it can be cleaned up. Each completed. After the beautiful seam of the wall, you can start the oil work. The first construction process. Wall base treatment. Due to the presence of loose mortar particles on the plastering surface and local bumps, therefore, it is necessary to clean the grassroots. This process can effectively reduce the loss of the base layer. Follow-up questions. The second construction process, rolling convex wall bone. The wall bone can penetrate the base layer of the enhance the bonding strength between putty and wall. Avoid empty bone loss due to loose base layer. High-quality wall fixtures can also form a barrier film. This reduces water penetration, delay moisture and mildew on the wall. As its name implies, it can effectively strengthen the wall base structure, reduce the risk caused by grassroots, wall cracking risk. Something to emphasize here, if the wall is of good quality, sand-free hollow drum, you can directly scrape the reverse magnet without using The third construction process, make up water and electricity. The water and electricity renovation trough should be carried out. Function rooms with different demeanors. The demeanor materials used are also different. Kitchen bathroom, balcony water room, plugging with cement mortar. However, due to the above three functional, the walls are basically tiled, so there is no trough blocking. Then the next focus on explaining the demeanor of light gypsum. Fairy grass light gypsum can be used directly with water. Good with the opposite set. Construction efficiency is 30% faster than traditional cement mortar, and it is not limited by thickness. Can operate in a low temperature environment, and its compression folding ratio is lower than that of and added concrete. Its strong wall adhesion. Effectively avoid hollowing and cracking problems. What is commendable is, it is suitable for latex paint or wallpaper wall. Fast construction, and has good compatibility with subsequent decoration material. The fourth construction process. After the trough is plugged, the surface should be pressed into the crack-resistant mesh made of glass fiber or polyester. Anti-crack mesh can effectively distribute hard force. Avoid cracking caused by local hard force concentration. The trough is usually designed with different materials, such as PVC trough and cement wall. As a result, the coefficient of thermal expansion and anti-crack net the deformation difference between the two materials reduce the risk of cracking. The crack-resistant mesh also creates a mechanical bite, combined to enhance the bonding strength of the gypsum layer and the wall, prevent empty bones or falling off. The fifth construction process after the anti-crack net is pasted in place. Do not press a layer of gypsum on its surface in time. This creates an effective mechanical bite. Through the above measures, can effectively delay due to material difference or wall problems caused by structural deformation, can significantly reduce the frequency of post-maintenance. The sixth construction process. Gypsum filling of yin and yang corners in the ceiling area, leveling due to the ceiling, the base layer and the wall base layer, not absolutely so the ceiling and ceiling or wall base. It is inevitable that there will be large or small. At this time, it is necessary to use light plaster leveling. The seventh construction process. After the gypsum is filled, the PVC foot guard should be. PVC foot guards are made of high-strength polyethylene. After being pressed into can effectively improve yin corner compression resistance and durability. This avoids cracking or cracking in the corners. What is commendable is the concave structure of the PVC foot guard belt. It can effectively ensure that the yin angle presents a 90-degree right angle, can effectively avoid scratching putty. The walls that appear are uneven or insufficient verticality can maximize the overall appearance of the wall. The eighth construction process. The double eyelid position of the double eyelid ceiling is covered with plaster. Due to the cut section of the drywall at this location, there may be hairs in the cutting section. Problems such as thorns or irregular and later putty skin scraping meet. Direct contact with the cutting section, easily affected by thermal expansion, and can create stress concentration, resulting in cracking. To sum up, whether it's creating a smooth working surface for putty scraping, or to avoid cracking of this straight putty, should be done with plaster, grassroots and leveling. Not prevent in the shadow density at the junction of two gypsum board, the micro groove set. This matter should also be settled with a plaster cover. Incident, deal with the roof panels in the nearby area as well. There is also the junction between the ceiling, also need plaster leveling. Next, paste the anti-cracking in time. All points must be pasted with anti-crack mesh. And march to the plaster again. Top board room location plaster photo. Hanging plaster in the dark corner of the wall. Place PVC foot guards. The eighth construction process looks at the yin angle and the yang angle. Let's take a look at how the yang angle is handled. The first is to scrape the gypsum at the section position of the gypsum board. Then place the croissant's PVC corner guards. Some fans say that the horns are emphasized here. Is there a difference between inner horns and horns? These are PVC horns with outward protrusions and structural spacing, decoration and protection function, prevent wall damage and reduce the risk of scratches. This is PVC inside corner position without convex structure. A corner recessed inward, mainly decorative. Beautify the inner corner lines. Next, Take a look at the curtains and the position of the yang and placement of gypsum board wall in dark corner. Croissant foot guard placement. The 9th construction step. Paste the knot seam tape before pasting the knot seam tape. White latex should be evenly applied in the corresponding position. White latex ensures that the paper bag will adhere firmly. Paste the seam tape in time after applying the white latex. The seam belt has strong toughness, transverse resistance to deformation pressure, prevent cracking at joints due to stress concentrations. The seam tape passes through the physical, reduce the direct impact of external forces on the indirectly extend the overall surface life of the ceiling. Caress yapping after pasting the paper back. Avoid air bubbles or displacement. Apply white latex. Adhesive step seam. The 10th construction process. Eliminate the base layer putty scraping. Many friends keep asking me, why scrape putty on the plastering base? Can you spray paint directly on the plastering base? This is because the plastering layer is limited by the construction. It is difficult to achieve complete leveling. Go easy by filling the pit tiles. Cracks and irregularities. Make the wall meet the basic flatness requirements. Ensure that subsequent paint or decorative materials adhere even. Avoid rear unevenness, bubble or falling problem. Putty as a wall, transition layer between base and decorative material. Can enhance adhesion, reduce the risk of shedding. Especially in humid environments or on empty walls, the putty layer can isolate the base layer from the outside, prevent latex paint from falling off from moisture. What is commendable is, putty can greatly improve the surface texture. Putty layer makes the wall smoother and more delicate, effectively improve visual effects. Rough surface for the treated plastering layer. Porosity. Directly affect the uniformity and aesthetics of the paint. After scraping putty, the wall is flatter. Delicate touch. And here's the thing, enhanced adhesion of latex paint after scraping putty reduces paint usage and construction costs. To treat the wall due to adhesion, usually needs apply 1 to 2 times more paint, cause material waste. The first putty is done. The 11th construction step. The second time the reverse child scrape. Putty scraping is a key process for wall treatment. Solve the problem of uneven wall through layered construction. The main one for the first. The function is to level the base with the foundation, mainly fill in the obvious defects of the wall, such as holes, cracks or bumps in glue. After the uneven base layer is initially leveled, may expose minor flaws, such as rust spots or local uneven. At this moment, corresponding technical measures must. After the first putty dries, for residual minor irregularities, repair small potholes or particles. Improve wall smoothness and fineness. It's like a fine makeup artist. Make sure the wall is flat as a whole. Avoid subsequent paint particles or peeling problems. At this time, someone asked if they should shave it twice to meet most wall needs. But if the situation on the ground is in case of serious unevenness or renovate, continued local training for the third time. It is important to emphasize here that it must be dry and scraped again each time. Usually lasts to 2-4 days, otherwise not. The dry putty layer will evaporate due to moisture, causing cracking or arching. The total thickness on both sides is recommended to be after a crack. Solid and thin cannot be effectively leveled. Then the yin and yang corners of. Are there any other technical measures? Yang angle. Yin and yang athlete's. Yin and yang athlete's foot is a necessary tool for correcting the yin and yang angles of wall. It is divided into 2 types, female horn and its working principle is to adjust the angle of the scraper, make the yin and yang angle line straighter. After scraping the feet, there will be unevenness such as SYBS. At this time, use a brush to further clean up. Flat yin and yang angle. Tempered equator. Ingenuity hard universe? Every construction process is indispensable. It is a shortcut to the wisdom and sweat of workers. The second inverse is complete. The 12th construction process polishes the putty layer. After the putty layer is completely dry, usually to 2-4 days, then the putty layer can be polished. The surface of putty is often uneven after scraping. Sanding can eliminate these defects, provide a uniform base for painting or wallpaper. And here's what's even more important. After putty, it is easy to cause cracking or grinding can reduce the thickness to a safe range. Usually thinner is better. Avoid structural problems in long-term use. It's a rare thing. Fine texture after sanding can improve the adhesion of paint or wallpaper to the wall to prevent peeling or peeling. It can also be effectively eliminated. Bubble cracks and other defects improve construction quality. A flat surface after sanding makes subsequent painting smoother, save time and labor costs. Grinder end with light, more conducive to observing bumps. It can greatly improve the grinding efficiency and flatness. Machine grinding, suitable for large areas of walls or ceilings. For the range of yin and yang angles, hand grinding should be given. Handheld strong light, etc. This allows you to better observe the bumps. Hiu Yu Liang Gong. Learn from parents. Chen, one who looked, it was Kondi and Jonko. The first 5 rhymes of the Wish Sutra seal. Summer crane. 10-year window. Not so much. Every construction process is inseparable from the spirit of ingenuity. The 13th construction process after the wall is polished. It's ready to spray paint. Currently under renovation. Commonly used spray paint is mainly latex paint. What you're seeing here is spray primer. Fourteenth construction process, roll convex finish. Latex paint is usually used in a one-drop two-sided. The function of the primer is to close the base, enhance adhesion, prevent overproduction. Lay the foundation for the top coat. The first coat provides an initial cover. Cover up foundation defects. The second time, make sure the color is even and full. Enhance the decorative effect. If you choose dark paint, you need to add a roll coating. After each pass, it needs to be completely dried, usually more than 2 hours. Roll coating is recommended rather than spraying, to improve the effect. During the roll coating, it is necessary to continuously replenish check to the position to ensure that the paint surface in each corner is even and flat. Guanico completed. Let me open the door for you. Go home when you're tired. Ten steps to decoration and renovation. 595 There is a detailed analysis of the decoration project collection. Interested fans can go to my homepage collection. Learn. Then you can clean it up and hand it over to the owner. This is what we have the most. Moments of accomplishment. This video took 4 years to record. Here it is, dedicated to the ordinary, but great you in front of the screen. May your life be innovative and radical. All the lights will always have a stone shining for you.